morning, friends, and welcome back to Darvanalee Designs Studio. For those that don't know, my name's Nicole, and today is February 8th. It is a Saturday. It's the weekend, so that means I get to do whatever I want, but I am including a couple of little work projects in as well. So let's get started. Well, good morning or good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me again today. As you've seen yesterday, I got Jenny's quilt, the binding on that. We have a little bit of leftover binding going back to Jenny as well. So that is on the cards tonight for me to sit down, watch a movie, and get the binding on. So I'll finish that over tonight and tomorrow night. But it is the weekend, so that means that it's a little bit more casual, it's a little bit more relaxed, and I do a little bit more pottering around in the studio. So if you haven't been before, this is where I work on a daily basis, but this is also where I play on a daily basis as well. So today I am basically going to just be pottering around a little bit. I did most of the housework last night, so I don't need to do any of that. I'm going to make a bit of a mess, so I'm not going to vacuum until tomorrow because I am going to be moving some rubbish and old furniture and all that sort of stuff out of a room over the course of the weekend. So I'll do that either tomorrow night or Monday morning. But everything else is done. All the surfaces have been cleaned down. All the dishes are done. I've got to put a load of washing on because that's what I do on a Saturday, which I'll do in just a moment. I have, however, got sprints going for my Patreon, BookTube Patreon. Every second month we have a little mini readathon where we try to read as many of our KU and Kindle books. So KU is Kindle Unlimited, and then we have Kindle books that for me, I don't know about anybody else, but I have a Kindle and it seems to be where books go to die. I get these Kindle books, whether they be free or whatever, and they go onto my Kindle, and that's where they live forevermore. I call it like the book graveyard, and I forget that I've got them. So every 2 months we get together for the entire weekend. We do 12 hours each day where we try to read as many things as we can. Some people focus on their library books. Some people, it's just basically books that we're not really focusing on for our physical TBR. It's just, you know, our digital formats or books that we've borrowed. So, which is fun because that's what KU is. It's where you borrow the books and then you return them when you finish them. So it's like an Amazon library, and some of them come with audio and all that sort of stuff. And I use that service a lot for book clubs and everything like that. So it's a great way to read some new releases and you know, not so known authors and stuff like that. A lot of independent authors I read off there. So yeah, so that is what's happening in the background. But what is happening in the craft room this weekend? I do have to drop in a couple of things that I need to sew up. So I've got a couple of bags that you can see over there hiding that I'd like to get sewn up this weekend. It's not necessary. I also have a project bag that I need to sort out. I've got to cut some cross stitch fabric for a customer, get some threads together for that customer, and then I have to dye that, but I'm not going to do that until next week because I don't want to do the dyeing today. It's overcast. I don't want to have to hang it out in the rain. So next week we're supposed to have a clear week until I think Thursday. So I'll do that in the first couple of days because it is a messy job as well. And I've just cleaned the house, so I don't want to mess up my house right now. I'd like it to be clean for a couple of days. So anyway, that is a workday thing. So I do have to get that all prepared and everything. So I'll cut that this weekend. I'm going to be doing a little bit of designing as well, but they'll probably do that towards the end of the day when I'm starting to get a little bit, you know, I'm a bit over crafting or whatever. I'm thinking about pulling out a dime painting, doing a little bit of that this weekend as well. I want to get out a couple of slow stitching projects that I've got. One is up that end and I'm scared. I'm just basically going to be pottering and taking you along for the journey. But let's do the check-in for the cross stitch. And now I had my stitching meetup that I have every Friday night with the Rebel Stitchers. Hey girls, how you going? And yeah, I caught up with Michelle and Gail last night. Leanne was at work and Jenny was off with the family, so that was all happening. And yeah, so there was 3 of us online. We were on for a couple of hours, and I was stitching away. So let's turn the camera around and see what I got done. All right, as you can see, I got it all done. So all I've got to do now is add in the black work, and that's probably going to take me about 15 minutes. I did say that I wasn't going to do it last night because by the time I finished this, it was late, and I didn't want to do it and strain my eyes. So I'm going to do that at some stage today and finish that off. But how beautiful is that? It is so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I love it on the 20 count. It just makes it so nice. So this will be ready for FFOing next week. So we should have a couple of FFOs happening during the vlogs. I'm doing a cushion for Snow Village, which you will see that getting finished up in the Stitch With Me. I'm going to do the back stitch during that Stitch With Me, and obviously I've got some back stitch some black work to do for this, and then that'll be done. So these will end up getting turned into pillows. That's going to be a throw cushion, and this one is going to be a little dough bowl finish. So yeah, I've just got to pick out some fluffy wool to go around it, and I don't know what I've got, so I'll have to have a bit of a look and see what I've got. I might have to do a twist or something for this one. I don't know. We'll see how we go. But I can add that on later, so that's not really going to affect me turning it into a little cushion. And I'm going to use a spotted, which looks like snow, on the back of this one. So yeah, I just love the feel of this. It's very beautiful. So even if I say so myself. So yeah, so there we go, it's done. It's another finish. Can you, like, are you all shocked as I am of how many finishes I've been getting done this year? It is crazy. Like, I don't know, maybe I've set the precedence for this year, but let's gaze upon that. It's absolutely stunning. So to my Patreon members, this will be as soon as I have finished doing the FFO and I take some photos and all that sort of stuff, this will be uploaded for you to be able to stitch, and I'm so excited to be able to bring this to you. So how exciting is that? I've actually got another finish. I cannot believe it. I am so excited. I am so excited that I'm getting all this stuff finished. It's really spurring me on, and I really do believe that these videos are helping me because I'm being accountable to you guys. Like, I'm doing this daily check-in, and I hope that you're enjoying it as well. Like, I've sort of stepped a little bit away from the doing a typical floss tube. You're sort of getting a floss tube every day because you're getting the check-in on the particular projects. So I'm going to just take the camera off this one, and I'm going to set it up, and we're going to pull out what I'm going to be working on next, because it's the rotation last night, so I have to pull out something else, and I don't know what I'm going to be working on. I think it's another small one, if I remember correctly when I looked in there last week. But let me change the camera position and go grab my bag, and then we can find out together what I'm going to be working on this week. Okay, so let me go grab my cross stitch bag, and we'll work out what we're going to be working on. I'm so excited that I'm getting so much stuff finished, like, and it must be great for you guys too, because I know that a lot of you have, you know, been wondering what happened, why I'd gone so quiet and all that sort of stuff. So of course tomorrow I'll be working on Red Dragon, so that is still set up. So that is what I'll be working on tomorrow morning. After I start sprints, I'll be working on that for an hour or two. So that is on the cards for this week. And the next one out is this little pouch here. And I believe that, as I said, I thought that this might be, okay, I thought it was on perforated paper. It is a little dimensions kit. Let me just bring it up. It's actually on plastic. So it's a little ornament. It's a little dimensions kit. It's a little Sienna. This will be my very first dimensions kit that I've ever done. So I hear people say, oh, I hate dimensions and all the rest of it, so I've sort of avoided them. I do have another one, I think, in my kit stash. But anyway, that is the little project that I'm going to be doing. So a nice little one. And I've already started it as well. And this, you know what? This is not going to take me very long at all. So that, let me just put that behind it. So can you see it a bit better? Yeah, that's better. So that's what I've got done so far. So it's not going to take me very long. Like, so that is like all of that, and there's the picture. So Look at that. So I've got all of that to do around the outside. How's that? It just sits on there quite nicely. Not the same size, but it's, yeah, that gives you an idea how big it's going to be. Because that hat almost fits on it. Look at that. There you go. So that's what I've got to do. So you can see the outline there. So I don't have a lot to do with that. I've got all this, like, there's a lot of yarn here. So I have everything that I need for it is here. So I've got all the called for colors. So this is one that I'll be able to do just in hand. And each day we'll do a little bit of a progress. So that is what I'm going to be working on tonight. So when I start Jenny's quilt, it'll be after I've stitched on this, and I'll probably just do an hour or anything, something like that. But because this is so small, I'll probably be able to just do this anywhere in the house. I'm just going to be doing it in my hand because it's on perforated, on the plastic. So that's not going to take me too long to do. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pull out the next one that's in the rotation. And then that way, when this is finished, I'm going to go straight into it because this is not going to take long at all. So what I'm going to do is pull out, no, that's the back. Let me turn that around. That's what confused me because that wasn't in there. Let me pull out the next one. All right, the next one that I'm going to be working on, which I'm going to set up in the hoop because it's not going to take me long to do, that little one. I mean, it might take me longer than I think, but at least I've got something else out. All right, the next one that I'm going to work on is a Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery Peppermint House. This is chart 1 of a 9 house series in the Peppermint Lane series, and it's designed by Laurie Pengelly. And that's what it looks like. I have all of these. I have them on PDF. And I believe I've got them on PDF. I'll have to check that out. I'm using some color, the called for colors, which are all Weeks Dye Works. There is also, I think I might have replaced one, which is a Classic Color Works. The colors are just absolutely beautiful. I'm pretty sure these are all called for. But they're absolutely stunning. I may have swapped a couple out. So these are all the Weeks Dye Works colors that are in it. It's absolutely beautiful. And this snowflake one, it's got little specks of color through it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got little like shades of pink and shades of like a greeny sort of color through it. And it's called, pretty sure it's called Snowflake. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it's called Snowflake. But you can see those little subtle colors in it. So cute. So it's not so like stark white, like it's white, but it's just so pretty. I am also, I've got stuff in here in a bag. Let me just pull it out. I've got extra floss in there. And I got this fabric from number 12 Stitch Co. It is called Bull Dust. It's 46 count Bistle. That's what the fabric looks like. This is the one I was telling you about that I'm stitching on a really high count. And this one I had planned to actually do it all in a row, like little individual finishes, and then yeah, and then put them on like a fence paling or something and hang them up. I'm still actually thinking of doing that. So yeah, so I've got these big pieces of fabric. I am stitching this 1/2. Is it 1/2? Yes, 1/2. So 1 strand of floss over 2 spaces. It is so beautiful. Like, even if I say so myself, this is so beautiful. Like my stitching, I haven't looked at this for so long. My stitching is absolutely divine on this. I absolutely love it. So let me bring it up. Like, I've got this big piece of fabric. This is how big it's going to be. So it's about 4 inches, if I remember correctly, or 3.5 maybe. Let me just bring it up, measure it. Yeah, it's going to be about 4.25. So let's say 4 inches. So it's going to be this size here, each one. So, and I've left a bit of a border around it. But what I don't know to do, whether I'm going to do it in one piece or whether I'm actually going to do them individual again. And that's where I'm sort of at. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the decision now. I'm going to do them individual, and I'm going to leave, I should have enough fabric here to leave, like do 2, 4. I should be able to get 6 on this piece of fabric. okay, because that's the size of the fabric. And I've got another piece there, and there's 9 of them, and I'm going to do them individually. And you know when you do a flat fold, do I have anything out here? Yeah, we go. So, you know when you do a flat fold, it's like up off the thing. So what I was thinking of doing is getting a fence paling and making this bit here, the little houses, and then putting it on, like putting some magnets, and I'm just sitting them on there. So when Christmas finishes, I can pull the little designs off, put them away in their Ziploc bag, and then put the fence paling away in a cupboard, and just have the magnets on there, and then that way I can just stick them on at Christmas time. So that's what my plan is, and just have a nice big rustic looking fence paling. Like, you can go and buy wood and make it really rustic looking, and that's what I want to do, and have that sit sort of like a mantle, maybe across the top of the TV or something along those lines, and decorate that way for Christmas. But this is what it looks like. That's it, up and close. Look at it. Oh, I just love it. This is what I was saying the other week. Like, I just absolutely love stitching on the higher count fabrics. While, yes, you know, the holes are small and all the rest of it, I use magnifiers and whatnot. It's just so nice. The crosses look good. You're stitching with one strand. I just absolutely love it. And this is the first time I've stitched on 46 count. And this fabric is just divine to work on. So yeah, I should be able to get 6, maybe even 8 on here if I play. I like to have a decent amount, you know. So yeah, so if I've got, so that's 1. Let me just have a look. Let me just have a look, a little bit of a look-see here. So that's 1, 2. Yeah, I should get 6, and I've got another piece of fabric to get the other 3 on there. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's what I'm just going to do. I'm just going to go with that, and it'll just be, it's the finish that I wanted. So yeah, so these will be finishes that I do individually, and I don't know whether I'm going to get this one finished because I still have a little bit to go on that. So let me just pull out the picture and see what we've got to go. So I've got the rest of the house. So I have done that section there. So I've done that much there. So I've still got all the bottom of this house. I've got all this to go, and then I've got this flower to go, and then I've got stars to go down here, and then yeah, that's all I've got to go on this. But that's probably going to take me a little while to do, because I do work a considerably amount slower on this. So yeah, so, and you know, I've still got fill in to do here and up here and all that sort of stuff. So this will get pulled out and worked on if I finish this week. So that means that this one will also be next week's one, so it might get a few extra days loving on this one. So I'm pretty happy with that. To be pulling that out, so I'm going to sit that over, but my main focus right now is this one, and I think it's very doable to get that finished. And of course tomorrow I've got an hour to 2 hours that I'll be spending on Red Dragon as well, because I want to get my Sunday stitches in for that. That's all I'm doing on it at this point, and I think I'm really happy with that. So all right, I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. Enjoy the rest of the vlog, everybody, and I will check in with you at the end of the day. All right, so I've been busy doing other stuff today. I got my computer, I got all the files off that all transferring now and getting backed up, because it's making a weird noise and I want to not lose all my stuff. I've also, you probably can't see, let me just turn it that way. I have got my old computer out, which is a Windows 10, so I've got to also back up the files on that one as well. So I'm going to upload them into Google Drive as well, and then I'll have them all backed up. I do have like Dropbox and all that sort of stuff, but I'm at capacity with that, and I don't want to pay the monthly subscription, so I'm just going to use like, to get extra room for Google Drive. It's not very much, so I'm just going to get that if I need extra. Like, I've got 100 gig of space right now, and I haven't even used half of that. So so I've just backed up all the files. They're all doing that on the other computer now. because it was making a clicking sound this morning. So I'm sort of like moving everything across that I've done. I've got video files and everything that I'm going to move over to a hard drive once that's done, which there it is right there. That's what I was looking for earlier. I'm like, I don't know where that is. It's right there. So luckily I came out here to film a bit. All right, so I was talking a little bit earlier about getting out some of my slow stitching. Now I've got several projects that are slow stitching. I've got some embroidery ones. I started to look up that end and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to create a bigger mess. That's not what this weekend is about. It is about doing some stuff. So I've pulled out one of my projects that I do for Patreon. So I've pulled that out. And I do release them eventually to the public channel, but they're very slow coming. So they may sit on Patreon for near on 12 months before I start releasing them. So if you want to see this sort of stuff that I'm about to show you, then may I suggest that you just join Patreon. The lowest tier is I've got a couple of tiers active at the moment, but they're about to go inactive, and just the lowest tiers there. And that's just to help me support the channel. So there's a few little extra things that you get over there. You get early release to the videos because a few things are changing around. You get early release. There were live streams and stuff happening, but because I'm in Australia and majority of my audience is in the US, I have stopped doing those because no one was turning up and no one was rewatching them either. So I just thought, well, there's no point in doing them if no one's watching them. So I do have several projects on the go for slow stitching. So as I said, I've got an embroidery one, which is up there in some boxes, and I was just creating more of a mess, so I put everything back and went, that is for another day. When I'm cleaning up, I will get that out. So the other one that I've got is just here, so let me just grab that out. And I broke my little ornament, so I've got to fix that as well. It says over here, over there, there could be fairies everywhere, and it's a little gnome sitting near a little fence post. That's what it normally looks like. I dropped it and broke it. So I've got to fix that. I was dusting and it went poof. As I went to pick it up, I accidentally bumped it. So the other, and I've got a couple of wool felt projects. So these are the two that I've pulled out today. There's another one that is an English paper piecing one, which I will probably pull out from time to time. That is a bit slow going. But the main one that I think I'm going to focus on and getting more onto this is this one here. So that's what I'm going to put a little bit into this today, so you'll get to see that, and I'll show you where I'm up to, and I'll also show you the other one. So I've got a little container with it all in. So I've got all my bits and pieces. I've got more leaves in there. I've got ribbon for some reason that's not supposed to be in there. So yeah, I've got all my little bits and pieces and everything that are in there in my little container. I've got my little, I don't know, did I end up doing, I think I ended up doing this as a video, I can't remember now, but this has got all my little bits and pieces in it. I think that this I was going to do as a new release, I can't remember, or I did it as a slow stitching Saturday, but it's a little wallet that holds all my stuff. It's just got some snaps and a little bit of English paper piecing on the front, and then inside I've got a couple of flaps for needles, and I've got my markers and extra bits and pieces in there, so I can zip that up, and that all stays in there. I've got my glue pen, I've got scissors, and I've got some lace here that I put some of these on because I use those. So actually a few missing. So yeah, so that is there. I will try and find the link and drop that down below. I can't remember whether it was whether I did it as a tutorial or not. So yeah, I've done a lot of videos over the years, so it's hard to remember what I've done as a tutorial and what I haven't. That's all the felt that I've got, and this is just a cushion. Okay, so I currently have not done anything on this for a while. So I have leaves on it, is what I'm focusing on putting on now, and I also have started to put some flowers on and stuff as well. The tree is all down though. So that is what I've got done on that one. And so I'm going to endeavour to get some of the leaves put down onto that. So let me pop that back in there. And I've got leaves in here. So I've got a heap of leaves that are already done. So I've just got to sew them down. I'm going to probably get a container that is a little bit better than this to put everything in. Now this one is a massive piece that I'm doing. Let me just pull out what it's going to look like. This is the one that I'm doing on Patreon. It is also, this is by Flying Fish Kits, and it is also by Wendy Williams, and it is the 4 seasons. So that is what it's going to look like. Okay, this is a massive job. I started doing this middle of last year, I think. Right now, I've got little houses that I'm making and whatnot. So you may see me making a few of those if you're on Patreon. And I have not done a great deal on it, but I am getting stuff done on this. So it's out, and I'm just going to work on it. You may see it from time to time in vlogs. But yeah, I don't know how quick I'm going to be at this, but this is absolutely massive. So that is the tree. There's a half tree. So this is what I've done on that so far. Okay, so I'm getting all the flowers down on that at the moment, and I've got leaves on it. So it's hard to show you. You know what? I might just lay this down on the floor and then you can see it a bit better. Okay, so that's a little bit easier to show you. So that is what I've got done so far. And basically I have so much more to go on this. Although I will go as far as to say is that the tree is probably the most intensive, but all the way around I have houses, and then when I get a little bit closer, you can see that we have 2 lines of running stitch done. In this running stitch here, which I'm doing last because there is a ton of these little flowers and everything that are in here all the way around, and then on the outside we have the houses and the lighthouses and all that sort of stuff. So this is going to be a massive wall hanging. I'm not sure where I'm going to hang it in the house, whether I'm going to hang it in my bedroom or whether I'm going to hang it in the lounge room. That is still up for debate, but you can see I've got all the sections put down. So right now I've got this section, the running stitch done. So this is the section I'm working on, although that inner circle that's going to have lots of stuff in it, I'm doing that last to wait to see if I've got enough felt and everything. It came as a kit, and it was a beautiful gift for me to work on while Savannah was at university. She's going into her 3rd year, so I would have liked to have been onto the 3rd quarter. I wanted to do it each season, but there was just, I don't know what I was thinking. There's just so much work in that I couldn't do it. With everything else that goes on in my life, I just couldn't do it. So really, if I did one thing a year, that would be good, but she's going into her 3rd year, so if I can in the first half maybe get 2 done and then start working on the 3rd one, at least it was the 3rd year that she was in uni. So yeah, so I can't wait to get some more stitches into that. So you can see here, this is the section that I'm doing right now, and see this section in here, can you see all of that has got to go in there? So I'm leaving that till last. And I'm leaving that to last because I want to make sure that I get all of the main stuff down. Okay, so I have done this house and I'm working on this house, and I've got this house cut. So basically by the end of February I would like to have all of the houses done, and possibly even starting to do the embroidery and garden down here. So that is my goal. That if I get to it, I get to it. If I don't, I don't. Remember, I'm being gentle on myself, but I'm still setting myself goals. Even to the end of March, maybe do that, because I don't work on this all the time, especially when I've got cross stitch and everything happening as well. So I will try and get as much done. I'm probably going to spend a day just cutting all this stuff out, and then I will just sew it together, because if I just bring these over here, you see that we do have like I'm working on this house. I've just got to put the chimney on, so I've got to cut all these out, and then I've got to stitch them on and then stitch them down. So yeah, and then this is the same, and I've got stuff cut out and all that sort of thing as well. So I've got some more leaves that I've got to add on, and all that sort of stuff. And you know, I've got this big container with everything that I need in it. It has a lot of floss and stuff that I've been using, so I want to take that out and have that handy, but leave it in this container because they're the colors that I'm using, which will help me out a lot. And the white, I'm just using Pearl 8 DMC. And then I've got stuff in here that is cut out and ready. You can see there I've got little circles, all the little bit of scraps and everything are getting saved. And then this is all of the wool felt that I have. So the main one that I'm going to be you'll see on the channel is this one, and that's the one I'm going to do some work on today. This one is more for Patreon. So actually I think that leaf come out of there. So this one is for Patreon, and so you will get to see that eventually. But if you would like to support the channel and help me to continue bringing you great content, then the best way to do that is to come over and join our Patreon, and you get as I said, you get early access to all the videos and all that sort of stuff. But that is a big project, and then I have to quilt it, which I'm just going to pretty much quilt it the same way that that Wendy has had it quilted. So just be stippling some, some lines to make the waves and stuff like that. So yeah, so the next one, after I'm finished this one, then I'm going to come down to this one here and do this one. So that inner circle bit there, that inner wedge is not going to take too long at all, because it's not as dense as this one. And then I'll be moving over to this one as well. So, and again, I will get those houses and everything down, and then just, yeah. But these two top ones are very intense. There's a lot in them. So I just want to make sure that the stuff that I've got here gets me all that main stuff and gets me all the houses and all the things. So you'll get to see that over time. So that is one that I've pulled down. It is getting actively put into the must work on pile. All right, I'm going to set up so I can start doing some of the cushion, which that's the cushion and what it looks like. So I think I'm going to be doing some cutting out today. I'm going to cut out some birds. I'm going to maybe even cut out and sew down some leaves as well. And I'll see what else I can cut out. So it's just basically going to be cutting out, I think, for the most part. If I get all of that set up, then I'll be ready to go. And I know that people are going to ask where I get these containers from. I get these from, thanks to my friend in Townsville. She uses them for quilt blocks, as I do up there. You can see there I've got all my WIPs in there. Uses them for quilt blocks. I also use them for project boxes as well. And I get these from Kmart. And I don't have any spare ones, because I really would, actually I've got one up there that I can actually take out, because it's just a WIP. I might put this in one of these boxes as well, because then I can stack it up there and it's readily available. So yeah. All right, I'm going to get all set up and ready to cut out. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so I've pulled this one down. I'm not going to be starting this anytime soon. So this was a Fat Quarter Shop, the spooky box. I don't know what year it was. I think it was 2023. There's no date on this. So yeah. Yeah, 2023. So I have not used anything out of this, but it has some washi tape. It has some black cat, I forgot what's in here. It's got some fabric as well, and it has a quilt pattern. So the black cats, they're so cute. I'm going to have to pull them out. They are adorable. Oh, look at those. They're so cute. So I'm going to pull them out. Use those. I can chuck that out now. So yeah, it's got a jelly roll in here, and it also has a pattern. It also has a needle minder. It's so cute. My goodness, look at that. How cute is that? So yeah, and it's got some washi tape as well, so I will use all those. We have a roly-poly, because it looks like it's roly-blake. Yes, so it's a roly-poly. And we have a pattern as well. So there is this pattern here. Let me just pull that up. Make sure that you can actually see it. Yep. So we have that pattern there. And what else have we got? Oh, and we've also got this pattern, which is super cute. So they are a couple of things that I'll be making at some stage this year, probably closer to the end of the year. But I'm going to leave everything in here, and I'm going to pop this back in. And then that way I have it all in one place. But that washi tape I'm going to use, and I'm also going to use the black cat pins and the needle minder. So I'll pull them all out and get rid of that. Alright, so that has freed up this. So let me just pop this back up. I will put this back up with my WIPs. even though it's not a work in progress yet. All right, so I'll get rid of these. I have a lot of washi tape and all the rest of it. All right, so this is going to be now this project's little space. All right, let me pack all of that up. All right, oh, that feels so much better. I fixed my chair. All right, so this is the Birdsville cushion, as you've seen a little bit earlier. It's by flyingfishkits.com. This is an Australian designer, so I wrote on the back what I'm using. Like, oh, what is that? But so I've got three leaves left to stitch down, and on this side, and then I'll be adding some flowers and stuff like that. So I'm going to stitch them down, and I think I've got two green ones over here as well. So I've got two green ones as well, but I'm going to do the red ones first, and then I'm just going to cut out some circles and all that sort of stuff. So when I was putting everything together, you could see I've got some more leaves and everything in here as well. So I've still got to cut out some more leaves. And I also, and I've just been doing them as I sort of go. I need to cut out a lot, as you can see. So I've got this branch done, I've got this one done, and I've got this one done. So I figured what I will do is I won't add any more leaves on out of the container today. I think I might have one red one. No, that should be everything there, yeah, because that's out. And because the leaves are sort of just, they're not actually connected to, which is really strange, onto the tree, but it still looks good. So I'm really excited. This is actually going to be for my bedroom, because there is no way on God's green earth I'm going to put this in the lounge room where my family can wreck it. So not that they would now that they're older, but you just never know, right? Someone could come sit in, they could have something on them, sit on the cushion, whatever. But anyway, this is going to be actually for my bedroom, so it's going to be a featured one on that. So what I figured I'd do today is, so I can make some more progress on it, I will actually cut out some more stuff to put on the end. So I need to put flowers, and then all down the bottom here we also have like a garden scene as well, and that's tiny little bits. So I think I'm going to leave that till last, so I know that I've got enough for the bigger stuff, which I have heaps here, so I shouldn't have too much of a problem with everything. There for eyes, so I'll just put that over there out of the way. But I need and I'm just going on the because this is a kit that I got, so I'm going on what is on here, and that's where I'm placing stuff. So it looks like that is light blue. Oh no, white maybe, but I don't have a lot of white left. That's all the white I've got, and that seems to be down in these ones down here, so I can't quite make out the color there, so I might just make it up as I go. But we do have a I've got these little bits left, so I'll leave that over there for now. I might actually get that little container that I took all the floss out of and put all my scraps for this one in there, but I'll leave it over there for now. So I need to have the dark blue, and then it's like got a light blue on that one, and then we've got this one here. Now this looks like I've cut some out, so where is all that? This is what happens. See, I've even got pink ones cut out, so I'm wondering if I've put stuff somewhere and not realized it. Maybe I put it in the other one thinking that was what it was for, because this was all sitting together. So that is really odd that I don't have all those pieces. Are they hiding in here? Because you can see here that I've evidently cut stuff out and they're circles. So I wonder where they are. That's really interesting. All right, I'm just going to get the other one down because I may have just accidentally put it with that. So I'm going to get the other one down and see where that is. I will be back in a minute. I thought I had another little container with all the pieces in it. So yeah, I'll just have a look. It might be up there. There we go. I found them. Oh, dear me. I panicked there for a moment. I'm like, oh my God, I've thrown them out. What have I done? So yeah, I remembered I had this in the lounge room and all the things. So, all right, now I can call off the search. All right, so I bet you're all like going, oh my God, I know how that feels, because you know, like I cleaned up the other week and I'm like, oh no, don't tell me I've thrown it out. And I knew that I had more of these, and that's why I was thinking to myself, but the quilt that I made during the week was hanging over it, so I didn't even think to look at that one. So yeah, so obviously I have some more floss and everything here. So I'm going to put this all in here because I will need some of these colors for other projects that I'm working on. And I'm using CXC colors as well, so a little bit of more sorting, I guess, and whatnot. So this is freezer paper that I've just traced the shapes on, and you can reuse that, like you can iron it down and all that sort of stuff. And then you can reuse it like several times. It's really good for that. Like, and I found that it's the easiest way to deal with things as well. So, yeah, that's sort of what I'm doing at the moment. All right, what's going on here? Okay, well, I don't need that in there, but these are DMC colors. I'm not too sure. That's a CXC and that's a DMC. So I don't know. Although they're just when I was matching the colors. So I'm using CXC for this project, and I'll put those DMC away, put that white up here, and I'll put that there, and I'll spool them up at a later date. But I now have a container for my scraps, so there. We'll put that in there. And I got these again from these are great. I got these from Kmart as well. So you might be able to get them at like Walmart or Joann's or somewhere like that, and they've just got these little snappies, and they're really good. They stay together and they stack as well, so they're stackable, and that makes a nice little neat unit. So I want to get a few more of these and just have them, you know, for pens and pencils and stuff like that, and make it a little bit neater with my stationery. So yeah, I'm going to be doing all that. All right, let me just pull all this out, and that way I can sort that out in a little bit. There is my my needle threader, which I will leave out. But you can see here that I've been starting to put them together. So, and you can see that's on there, like that's just been ironed on. So if you've not done any sort of wool felt applique before, freezer paper is your friend. So yeah, so let me just pull out all these circles and we'll start putting some of these together. So I might actually put these together first and then we'll sew some stuff on. But yeah, I'm just going to spend probably about an hour on this today, and then have it there ready to you know, just work on every now and again. And I'll start making some progress. Even if I do like every second day, I do an hour or half an hour on it in the afternoon after I'm finished editing, I'll get it done pretty quickly, I reckon. So I'm going to keep this container here for all the floss that I'm using for both the wool felt projects, and I'll just know to take this with me when I go cross stitching in case it's got a few colors in it. And I've got my other big one that has all the colors for the projects that I've been working on so far. So there's that. I've got those there. So let me just put these in order of numbers. And these are pretty much all the colors that I've been using. So I'm pretty happy that I've got these are all organized now, which is really good. All right, so let me just bring some down here. The only thing I hate about these little containers is that they get a little bit funny with all your, like, they work better if you've got the hard plastic, they'll stay upright, but these little paper ones, I don't like them. Don't like them, don't like them, don't like them. So yeah, all right, let me just take one more of these. I'll pop that down there, and then these all should fit. Oh, there goes one. In here. Yeah, because if you've got the plastic ones, these little paper ones, they tend to crush and all the rest of it, but they're really good for projects that you're doing on the go and stuff as well. Like, and I like having them just at hand. Like, I can just take this, know if I'm going to take this project, and I just take this container, it's going to have all my floss in it. And of course I do have like embroidery floss for when I'm working on these, but if I've got to do any big running stitch or anything like I do on the other one, I'm going to use the Pearl 8 for that, because I think that that's going to work a lot better for me. All right, now that I'm not so panicked, let me just put those in there. I will pull them out a bit later. I don't want them blowing away. Now that I'm not so panicked and I've got all my bits and pieces, so yeah, I only used a single strand on these because I don't know why I did. I think it might actually say to only use a single strand. So this one is obviously I've got leaves on the other branches on the other side as well. So I've got some of these ones here as well are done, because that's the branch that I've done. And let me just bring it up, move this out of the way. You can see here I've already put one on. And there's a hoop that I have where it stands up so I can use two hands, and it looks really good. So and then I was just playing around with some of these softer ones, because if I don't think you can really see, it actually looks like they're actually really just using one strand there. So there's that. And yeah, so I can call off the search now. I tell you, I was panicked there for a moment. And of course there's my needle that I'm using. So this one's got to have French knots and everything in it. So I'll probably just wait to do that, and I might just do, let's have a look what we got going on here. There's definitely white in there, but I don't know why. Because I don't have a lot of white. This is one for in there, and I've got that with a couple of blues. I've got the orange one for down here, so that is white on that one. So I do have my little pins here somewhere. Where are they? I might start putting some of these together. This is the thing, like when you walk away from stuff, it's so bad because you come back to it and you've got no flipping clue what you're doing. So I'm just going to start putting some of these pieces together. So that only has 2 bits from what I can see. Let me just go to the back. The pattern. That's the garden. Okay. Oh look, I wrote down all the things. I'm a good girl. I wrote it down. Oh my goodness. I'm terrible. The reason I'm excited about that is because I am actually really terrible for not putting that information down. So, all right. So, okay. This is stitching in the center, and then it's just, yeah, we've got zigzag, fly stitch with no tail. We've got long and short stitch, and this is, yeah, that's for the lower garden, and then these are the ones that are on the tree. So we've got some French knots and then some stitching in the center, and that's what's making it look like it's got a center bit. And then this is smaller garden. We've got a lot of just long stitches on it, and then down the bottom, some of these bigger ones for the lower garden have these sort of stitches on it. So I must have been doing some of the lower ones, maybe. I don't know. No, that's definitely the one that's for the other branch. Okay, sorry guys, I would like to get a little bit done today, and then as you can see, I've just put down all the numbers and whatnot for the leaves. So olive green, we've got 472, 470, 469 and 349. So 349 is not here. I've got 304. Oh, that's on top of the leaves. Okay, so I'll have to get that out and put that in because I do have a lot of red leaves to go. But the thing is, I can't actually see any of the papers for the red leaves, so that's interesting. Anyway, all right, I think I know what I'm doing now. Probably not. I have my cuppa and all the things, so I'm going to do a little bit of stitching. So yeah, all right. I don't know how I'm gonna the crosses and everything I'll be able to do outside a hoop, but the French knots, there's no way I'll be able to do that. So what I'm going to do now is get some green. I've got my needle, which I don't actually want to use that needle. I'll just it's my needle threader. So where is, I had a little pin cushion before. What did I do with it? Oh, I'll just use the cork. There we go. That will work. All right, so I'm just going to, I've used a bit of glue on this as well, but I've run out of that glue from this kit, so I will just have to make do with some pins and all the things. So yeah, all right, let me have a look at this blue one. Actually, that, and then that has that on it. So let me pin that one. Actually, it's a bit bigger. Pin that. I can't wait to get to some of the birds. And I really like that this is really whimsical as well. So that's really interesting. All right, that one goes there. No, there. That one goes. All right, so I'm going to pin them into where they're supposed to go. They're not set in stone yet because I haven't taken the, I could probably take the paper off now. And pop that over there. And then pop this on together. That'll go through. Oh, that's so much easier. All right, so that one goes to here. All right, and then we have a pink one with this in the center by the looks of it. No, that's that one. That's definitely smaller, so that goes down over here. Just going to pin them where they're supposed to go so I don't get confused. I know that you can't see that. I've just pinned that off to the side. This one goes over here as well. Okay. I'm actually a little bit further along than what I thought. To be honest, I did not think I was this far along. But anyway, apparently I was. Alright, so we have a pink and orange center. Where'd they go? There it is. Take the paper off. And you can see it just peels off, which is really good. And then you can reuse that. You can iron that back down again. I need to make sure that I've got 1/4 of an inch away. So yeah, make sure that I've got that sitting right. And give me some more pins. This cute little bottle, little house they're called. And they're glass head pins, so yeah, they're so good. I'll, if I can find them again, I will leave a link down below for you. You can go and check them out. They're great. I like using them because they're really sharp, they're really fine, and I don't have issues with them, like if I accidentally iron one. So yeah, I'm notorious for it. I really am. All right, look at us. This feels like we're making lots of progress, right? The only thing that it's a white one. The only thing is, I think I made my tree like it's spread out too far when I did it. But I can always put a, you know, some autumn leaves or something, like a border around it to make it a little bit bigger. Because I'm going to have to make my own insert for this one. Sorry about that. I'm just making sure that my camera's not too hot, so sorry. All right, next we have an orange one. So that's that, and there's I don't have another pink one, do I? All right, so this is an orange one, and it goes there, and it has a yellow center. And then that's all the circles that I've got cut out. One more yellow one I've got, which goes a little bit further over. So that's that one. There's that pin. Okay, that's that one there. That's a red one. And then I think that is the yellow one over there. So yes, then that's where the yellow one goes, and it has a white center by the looks of it, and I don't have any white left, so I actually think I might just change this one up from that to white, because I don't have much white and I am using it very sparingly. There's only like 3 of these flowers that look like they have white on them. I mean, obviously the colours aren't exactly what they're supposed to be, but at least because on the yellow, I think it's either going to be orange or yellow that's going on there, but because we've got a yellow in the centre of this one, I think it's prudent that we make this one over here with the white centre. And of course we've got birds to go in there and all that sort of stuff. We've also got some red flowers and everything, but I didn't want to cut any red flowers because I've still got to cut a fair few leaves and stuff. So yeah, so let me put the black back and I can leave those circles in there. All right, get rid of those for a second, pop them up there, but that's gonna look good. I think that's awesome. All right, so let me just pull this out, put these back in. There. All right, now I've got my little needle, which I'll put there. How's that looking? Looks pretty good, I think. And then of course I've got the ones down here as well. So, and I've got a hoop that sits on the table, so that I can do those in. But before I pin them down, like a lot of the straight stitching and all that sort of stuff I'm going to do. But right now I'm going to sew down my leaves so I can get rid of those bits and pieces. And all you're doing with this is just a whip stitch. And normally I will, you know, I'll have a book going or something like that, but because I'm recording right now, I don't have it going because, you know, copyright and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's that. But I normally just, you know, sit there and I'll do a little bit, and for the most part, most of this has been done online, so I will put those videos in a playlist, and then that way you can see what I've done and how I did the tree and all that sort of stuff, and what I waffled on with, and all the things. So I'm just using 2 strands. I'm just having a look here. I'm definitely using 2 strands. I'm using CXC thread, which means that I will need a needle threader. And I'm just going to stick that over there. And the leaves, when I done the leaves the first time, I actually did this fly stitch on the leaves before I did it. I'm not going to do that again. I'm actually going to just cut leaves out, put the leaves down, and then do the fly stitch on this, because it gives me more to hold, because I got chunky little fingers and I found it so frustrating to hold. It was driving me mental. So I just decided that I was going to cut out the leaves, and then I'm just going to pin them all on and stitch them all down, and then I will do the fly stitch on it, because like they're so tiny. Like, I did these all in my hand, and my hands were so sore afterwards, and so I had to hold it like this and do it, and so you know, depending on what stitch is on these, I may end up just putting it in the hoop and stitching them down, like gluing them down, and then just doing the stitching in the hoop. But yeah, you will get to see what I decide to do. So yeah, and all you're doing is just coming right at the edge of the leaf and coming up underneath, and then coming up through that that felt, and you're just doing a whip stitch. And I just basically go underneath, and you can see there that it just disappears. And that's all I do. I just work my way around. I come up from the back, and then I just work from the top, and I find that that works really well. And I try not to take too much of a big bite, because I sort of want it to disappear, and I sort of go underneath it so it doesn't go on too much of an angle. But the beauty of this is it's so whimsical, it doesn't really matter how your stitch looks. You could probably get away with doing a single strand, but I think on a couple I did a single strand, but I found that it was just dragging a little bit, and having the 2 strands actually made it feel a little bit more sturdy. So yeah, so that's why I'm doing it this way. I'm really happy that today has been really productive with the slow stitching, because I've got all of that stuff organized now, and it's just at the hand, and I can just get stuck into it. And you don't have to go crazy with the stitches either. Like, you can on your curves you'll have to put a few more extra in, but on your straight edges and stuff like that, you can pretty much just go for it. And as I said, it's so whimsical that, you know, you don't have to be super perfect with your stitching or anything either. Like, you know, try your best, obviously, but you don't have to be perfect with it. And you know, if you use thread conditioner and stuff like that, that would be, you could use that. I'm not someone that uses thread conditioner. I used to, like, if I'm doing a lot of like English paper piecing, I will, but for this sort of stuff I don't tend to use it for embroidery or anything like that. And you can see they go on pretty quick as well. I've just got to be careful of the pins over here. Don't stab me in the leg. This project here is pretty easy to do in hand, as far as the whip stitch and all the rest of it. The other big project that I have, I struggle to do the whip stitch in hand because there's so much fabric. So a lot of that I have been doing in the hoop. So yeah, And the tabletop hoop that I have is really good because I'm able to just have both hands free for that one. But this one I might end up just putting in an embroidery hoop, and I will add it to my cross stitch tabletop one and just stitch them that way. So I think with this one I'm going to end up probably having this out as an active hand embroidery stitch, and I might just work on it like every couple of days or something, put an hour into it, and I think it'll go pretty quickly, and especially if I've got it set in a hoop for the stitching, and then I can do, you know, if I work on it I can do a check-in for it or something along those lines. Okay, so I'm going to keep stitching all these down, and I'm going to keep working on this afternoon, but I'm going to wrap. It's getting late. It's after 3 o'clock and I still have to edit this video. So I'm going to wrap up and I'll do a check-in tomorrow on how much I got done. So I'm probably going to add down some more green leaves, but I'm going to get all these discs down so the next time that I need to do French knots or anything like that, I can put it in the hoop and then I can put it onto my cross stitch frame, and basically I can then make more progress with it. So I think what I want to do right now, like I know that I pulled out my other one, but I think right now, so I can get some satisfaction from this one, I'm just going to focus on this one for the next couple of weeks, and then in March I will focus on the other one. And I may still cut out some and all that sort of stuff. So if I've got a spare 5 minutes and I've cut all this out, I can cut out some of the houses and all that sort of stuff, because they're just squares and rectangles that I've got to cut out. And that's very accessible now. That is just above me on a shelf, so I will be looking at that more regularly. So basically that means that it's going to be in the forefront of my mind, and I'm going to be more inclined to put more stitches on it. So today I feel like I've been really productive in the fact that I've got these down, I've got a direction that I'm going, I've organized all my floss for both projects. I found my circles, which was a huge relief, and to get those down. So if I get all these down, cut out some more circles and possibly get them all down in the next week or so, I will be ready to start putting down. And I've got to cut out more leaves as well, but as I said, I've got to I'm not stitching them like I did last time. That's why I don't have many leaves, and I sort of stopped because I thought, oh my god, this is so fiddly, and it was hurting my hands. But you know, I've never done anything like this before, so this is my first time doing any sort of wool felt applique, and I've watched lots of videos and all that sort of stuff, and basically the general consensus is just make it your own. You know, like, don't get too hung up on your stitching, don't go for absolute perfection. I mean, this is never going in a show. This is something that I just want to enjoy and stitch down and, you know, do something pretty for my room. And as I said, I don't know where that other one's going to go, but my room is when I get to my room, which is probably going to be the last room that I get to, but when I get to my room, it's going to be like autumn vibes, like those autumn colors, and boho inspired. So I don't know whether this is going to fit into it. Like this cushion will be fine, but I don't know if the wall hanging is going to fit into it. But you know, there's going to be so much work in that. I feel like I want to display that somewhere where I'm going to see it on a daily basis. So somewhere like the lounge room or something like that. But it may end up just being out here. I may end up just hanging it out here, so I can gaze upon its beauty, as they say. I do have a space where it probably could fit above my sewing machine, possibly. I can, you know, and I also have the opportunity to cut that down a bit. Like, that's got excess fabric for border and all that sort of stuff. So I can always, you know, cut a little bit off and get a little bit closer to the circle that's there. It'd still be square, but you know, get a little bit closer to the side and the top. Yeah, but I'll play that by ear. That's a long way off. Don't worry, I will be sharing it all with you and letting you know how it's all going and all that sort of stuff as well. So you'll just have to hit that subscribe button and change it to the little bell icon of all notifications, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any of my uploads. So basically I will, as I said, I will check in tomorrow on how much I'm going to get done. I'm going to keep going with this, but I do need to get the video edited. And as I said, I am on my booktube channel right now, and so yeah, so I only have a certain amount of time before I've got to go back and talk and all the things, but I think I've got a good idea of where I'm going now. As I said, I'll probably get those leaves that I've already get done, I'll probably get them down today and tomorrow as well. But I'll definitely do a check-in for you so you can see what is going on and how far I got today on that. So with that being said, I'd just like to say thank you so much for being with me today. I hope that you enjoyed today's vlog. A little bit, you know, again, a little bit of preparation not being, you know, not crafting for so long and just everything put away. It's a bit of, oh, I need to pull this out and get it sorted and you know, start doing some stuff on this. So that is sort of where I'm at the moment. So I hope that you're enjoying seeing all these projects come out again. I have many WIPs that I need to sort out, and my goal this year is just to really focus on the WIP and get it all done. And I mean, it doesn't have to get it done, but you know, just at least make an attempt to get some more progress done on them is probably a better terminology to use. And then that way I won't feel so bad that I've, you know, got all this stuff just sitting there and whatnot. So, but as I said, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I love all your positive feedback. Leave me a comment down below. What did you work on today while you were watching this video? Or did you just take 5 minutes for yourself, have a cuppa and a bicky, and take 5 minutes and refresh and recoup and get on with the rest of your day? But I will be back again tomorrow with another video, and of course I will, as I said, I'll do a check-in with all the things that I'm doing, and hopefully I'll get most of the quilt finished as well. So it should be a very productive day, to say the least. But that's it from me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Don't forget to do all the things: subscribe, like, leave me a comment, share with your friends, let them know this is what's happening over here, and of course I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.